casting, we keep on baiting and hopefully catching. I'm very over the moon already. As a first fish of this session, it's just a crazy gift from the lake. Actually, I underrated the fish. I'm shaking, really. Wow. Now I'm more nervous than before. Really, this makes me feel so blessed. New session, new vibes. These toys have been waiting in a box for a month before I was able to have a proper occasion for them to see the light. So I take advantage of these rainy days to prepare the gear to use in the next trip. As long as I know that I will be casting and do it often, I will spoon a monofilament this time. The Tournament ST monofilament of 0.32mm, which will be great playing big fishes eventually and giving me great performance on casting long distances. And here we go. Repeating the process to all three reels and mounting them on the Infinity Rod's 12-foot 3¼ test curve. And finally, carefully place them in the rod holder, together with the marker and spot rods. The road trip, it doesn't take too long. We had about 2.5 hours before we get to the lake, but finally when we arrive, I'm delighted by the view. The sky gets clear after the rain, and a warmer breeze is touching the water surface. I'm aware that now it's late afternoon, so my only concern is to prepare the camp, boat, bivvy and rods, but not fishing yet.
Welcome everyone to this second chapter. Actually, for this session we decided to vote to come on a gravel pit. It's a public water, and normally this place in the summer months is very crowded. Now that we are facing the beginning of winter, actually it's peaceful and quiet. Actually, I think I'm alone on the lake at the moment, and we are in the middle of the week. So yeah, just to be sure that we can do things right without too much pressure of angling. On our arrival from yesterday, it was of course too late to set everything right, so I just wanted to be more, accurate in doing things properly. I know already basically this place, how the bottom, the most prolific spots that can give more and more. So I wanted to use the boat only to drop my marker, one of those poles. Basically, I prefer to use this kind of marker because actually whenever I have a run, I'm sure that if the fish just swim towards him, it will never be tangled with the line on this pole. Actually, it just swipe up and the fish it will be free. So once I set this marker, I just wanted to put a whole bucket of baits. Actually, I used it at least from these first hours on this first stage of the baiting. I used some boilies, entire, crunched, and some also sweet corn, some mice. This of course will probably make happen to the smaller fish to come, which can be also the bream, crucians and so on. But yeah, what I care most in this first stage is that I just want to attract more fish as possible. Again, of course, I used some attractors like liquids, so that this will create a proper cloud of attraction in the water. And then for the rest of the session I will be baiting here from the bank, just using the spot rod. So basically I also didn't want to fish for the night. Okay, I baited, so I wanted to make the fish come closer first to get confident in their food, and then starting from today to cast my rods out. This is also part of a strategy that for me it's working. Whenever you know that you have to face more and more days on the water, especially in this transition of time where we are leaving the warmest days and we are getting into the very cold days, because we have about 15 degrees in the day and about 1 or 2 only in the night, so it will be very cold. So join me now in this new adventure where we can discover some features of the products and hopefully some nice carp. Fingers crossed, and let's start. So basically what we know, we have a long distance to reach by casting. So I used a helicopter presentation basically with a long lead core and the lead at the end of this one. I have decided to use a spinner rig, actually with a very short section of braid, about 10 centimeters more or less. And all of them I wanted to use with a snowman presentation, with boilies of 20-22 diameters on the bottom bait and about 15 to the pop-up. So basically this is just in order to have the best, in my opinion, on this kind of water, because water is quite clear and mostly we have gravel and bottom full of stones, so it's very hard. And yeah, in my opinion, this is just the best choice actually to how to present the bait to the fish, to be constantly also then on feeding, on baiting up and so on. But let's talk about a little bit more of the on the spot. As I said, we reached a distance at about 100 meters from the bank here, so it means that yeah, it's quite a very interesting cast to make. And I'm quite happy now because I will be using the new Infinity rod paired with the new Tournament Basia reel. One important aspect is that once I placed my marker in the area that I knew basically more or less, I just baited all around, so I will be just using 2 rods, one left and right on the marker, in order to fish with 2 rods in this baited area. For the 3rd rod instead, I will be doing something different. I'm going to cast this one more farther distance, at about 120 meters more or less, just where I have a small bay behind a small highland, actually here in front of me, where I chosen this spot. And normally this can bring some very good benefits, because this can be selective with the bigger fishes that normally are swimming lonely and not together with other smaller fishes. So let's start with casting the rods out, and let's see what this day can bring.
The baited area chosen is approximately 90 to 95 meters from the bank. First of all, making one cast, and once I'm happy with the distance, I'll clip the line. Then count how many wraps are, which results in 26 wraps to cast out the 2 rods near the marker.
There's a little bit of wind just against me. It's not that much. It's not a problem for the casting, but we just have to be careful in putting on the right alignment the line. Once the rig, the lead, everything is just sank on the bottom, then slowly we have to put it in tension, just keeping the tip of the rod low. This is the middle rod on the right side of the marker. Now I'm going to cast the first rod, which is going to be on the left side of the marker, and then the last one, which I'm going to cast it then instead at more distance. For this 3rd rod, instead, I don't really need to take a distance with the distance sticks. Basically, what happened, as long as I say that I decided to fish with this rod far from the baited area and more in distance at about 120 meters, I just take as a reference point one tree at about 40 meters from the small highland that I have in front of me, in order to reach the more depth, and basically because I know actually that this is a good place for the carp just swim around the island. So yeah, I just going to place it on my instinct, this rod. Now we are officially starting fishing. Now the only thing I've left is just to prepare some more bait to cast out with the spot rod.
Another important aspect to me, it's always have some spare materials when fishing. You never know what can happen. And when it's about landing nets, having 2 of them always near the rod pod is a must to me. The cross-cast landing net, a traditional one with a long handle and one in 2 pieces, ideal also to use it from the boat if needed.
The same procedure also with the spot rod, but in this case we're going to do it only one time, and then it will always be the same. We are 100% now in position. All the 3 rods are in place. We baited again with the spot. And just wanted to clarify actually one thing. I'm using the boat only at the first stage yesterday to drop the marker and the first baiting, because in any case I just don't want to go every time I need to drop the bait or to fight the fish and so on, because this will scare the fish and it will just make them go away. So for this reason I just have it here, and eventually for some emergency it can be used, but I prefer to do everything from the shore here. If the school of fish, maybe, I don't know, we suppose 10, 15, 20 carp arrive feeding on the spot, we can have multiple runs as well. And in order to keep the fish on the baited area, this is very important, not to go out with the boat always and scare the fish. And in any case also it's very cool. It will help a lot to make some spombing 3, 4, 5 times every 1 or 2 hours more or less, in order to keep the fish on the baited area. And also the fish by now also remember the sound of spomb splashing on the surface of on the water, and they can remember that this is linked somehow to the food. It's kind of strategies that in venues like this it helps quite a lot. Again, it's a public water, it's a wild gravel pit, yeah, but as long as there's a lot of pressure also, mostly in the spring and the summer, fishes are sometimes, yeah, they get used and they act like fish from fisheries. We know that we did everything right now, and also this weather is very cloudy and gray. This gray sky, it just makes the whole thing very carpy. So really, fingers crossed, and wait for the fish to come.
The first hours of fishing are the ones that makes me more excited. After casting the rods out, baiting up with the spot, the awaiting game, and you think, you imagine, you dream. You know conditions are good and several great fishes swims in front of you. Which beauty will pick up your boilie? Strange how this fish just had a run and totally started pointing on the right side of this bigger bay that I have here on my right side. I cannot really predict what kind of fish it can be, because sometimes it feels heavy, but then she swims towards my direction and I totally lose the feeling. But it's fighting nice. It's fighting really nice. Wow, it's very beautiful fish, I have to say. Very beautiful fish. Wow, she's in! The first fish of the session officially in my net. And what a cracking fish, I have to say. Beautiful. Wow. And here we go with my helicopter with a short spinner rig, my Snowman, after how many hours? After about 4 hours that we started fishing from this morning, and the first fish to inaugurate this session with such amazing, beautiful carp. It's a mirror, half linear, I will say, with few scales from half body till the tail. Wow, I'm very over the moon already. As a first fish of this session, it's just a crazy gift from the lake. Thank you. 17.6. what a fantastic result as a first run of the session after just few hours that we cast out the rods, and this mega mirror carp came to visit me. I'm well happy, I have to say. .6 kilo on 17.6, yeah, 16 kilo exactly of a very lovely mirror carp. Now we already wasted too much time. Let's cast immediately that rod again on the place. In the last couple of hours also, I have to say that I'm listening to many jump of fishes crushing the surface. Also, yeah, I don't know, again, if weather change, it just wake up the fishes. In general, this temperature, which is about 15, 16 degrees, more or less, there's a little bit of sun, but mostly is cloudy. And again, this is just a perfect condition to catch carp. I love it. In general, yeah, as I said, also normally, also on this place, the water is gene clear. There's many grass also rising, but now that we are coming to the autumn and winter season, it's getting much colder, the water, and this grass is dying and coming to the surface and vanishing, most of all. And also, yeah, these carp are more active now because they need to gain more weight to prepare themselves for the cold, for the winter season, to just, yeah, increasing their weight body. And I'm just here for this reason. I also think it's quite fair to give some more bait on the spot in order to keep the fishes on the area. Whoa! I have to go fast. Just one bomb, it was enough, and the left rod is running. It was swimming on my direction. Crazy. She took so much line. Okay, this was totally not what I was expecting in the rush of everything, but hey, it's my fault. I said in the beginning that I will do my best to attract more fish as possible, even the bream, the crucian carp and so on. But hey, first run was a 16 kilo mirror carp, second run, bream. Okay, let's see for the next one. I don't really know how they can hook themselves so perfectly, while the whole rig presentations, no man on, it's much bigger than their mouth, but they are hooked perfectly. Okay, let's go.
the last one. Then let's wait another couple of hours and let's see if we can get some more bite in the meantime. Here we go again. As I said before, yeah. Let's wait a couple of hours more. Wow, this fish is, oh my God, it's definitely much more powerful. Much more powerful. It's just swimming in the open lake, pointing the center. What a beautiful feeling. Actually, this rod is the one where I had the bream. So yeah, it paid off to cast immediately the rod on the baited area. I have to be very careful now because the fish is coming closer. It's not far from me now, and here on my left side I have a very bad plateau actually of gravel with a lot of weeds as well, so I have to try to keep the fish in front of me. It feels heavy. It feels heavy, but I don't know. First of all, it's very powerful, and with the friction of some line going through the weeds as well, it can give you some false feeling. But when it goes straight in the clean area, it feels heavy. It's getting closer, so let's see. Don't go away, don't go away. Oh my God. Second run, actually third after the bream, but still I don't know if that counts, but this is an amazing prize. I think that actually I underrated the fish when I landed, but now that I lifted, also I can see and feel the shape and the size, the weight actually is definitely a big fish. Wow, what a result, what a result. I'm shaking really. Wow. 19.9, basically 20 kilo with the sling, minus 1.5. It's a very good reward, I will say. Yes. I wasn't expecting already this
size of fish. I was expecting, to be honest, some more activity, even more runs probably, but smaller fish. Instead, it's 3 runs actually, a 16 plus kilo mirror, a bream that just put down the mojo for a bit, but then on the same rod that I immediately cast again after the bream, this 18 plus kilo common, super hungry and aggressive, which it gave me a nice intense fight, especially on the last part before I can land it. Beautiful, really, really beautiful. And this fish is in a great shape. It will also grow much more, I believe, in the years. Well, let's say that I'm happy, very satisfied with the results that I'm having. Again, we check the hook, it's still perfect. The baits, the little bit of wind that there was this morning has totally stopped. And actually also the temperature as well is feel like it's rising a little bit. Still this sun, this pale sun behind the clouds is giving this little bit of light, enough for the fish to bite. So yeah, it's pretty okay. I just don't know what to expect actually for the night, to be honest. But yeah, we keep on casting, we keep on baiting, and hopefully catching. Let's collect some little piece of wood just to start a fire for tonight, because yeah, it will be definitely colder for the night. So before I just run into the sleeping bag, I will just warm up a little bit here and enjoying the evening. Now everything seems to be more flat, no breeze at all, no more jumping, unfortunately, but yeah, we will see. Honestly, I consider myself very lucky already for the fishes that we had today. I was, as I said, really, how can I say, I wasn't expecting that kind of activity. I was expecting probably more runs by smaller fish, definitely smaller fish, instead of 2 runs with 2 mega carps, I will say.
rod that I casted at a longer distance between the island and the opposite bank, and look, wow, it's just swimming fast, so fast, pointing the open lake. This is the real life, this is the real fishing actually, and this is what just happened. It's the third time in my life that a fish opened the hook, and in previous time I actually even managed to land the fish, but in this case it was totally, oh my god, incredible. And such power in the run that took me 100 meters like this, so easy, from a totally opposite direction and swimming towards the open lake. Oh man, this must have been a important fish, definitely. I don't know. Sad, because I was, as I was thinking to place the third rod actually far from the baited area, because there I can have a chance to probably have a run of a very bigger fish. And this confirms my theory actually. I had a run of what I suppose must have been a very nice fish, bigger than the previous one probably, so definitely much bigger than 20 kilo carp probably. I don't know, but yeah, we will see. Okay, actually I just managed to replace quickly only the hook with a new one. The snowman was still the same, it was good. And now also the sun is shining again. Let's see if I can be lucky enough one more time to hook a bigger fish and hopefully to land it. Crazy. I wasn't about to cast the other rod and this one in the middle had a run. Okay, Salvo, let's do things right, no rush, and land this fish, which it feels good. I'm very nervous at the moment. Very nervous. Okay, now I can see it. It's a smaller fish, but it's very powerful. It's just at 2 meters from me. Okay, maybe 5, but it's giving me the hell. Okay, now I'm more nervous than before, because I realized that it's a very great fish. Not in terms of size, but in terms of beauty. I think it's like a ghost koi, something like that. White, oh my god, what a beautiful fish. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god, he's in! Oh my god, I can't believe it. What a fish! Actually, I believe that this is just the, how can I say, the reward of probably that I lose a bigger fish And I was so sad, so sad. And the lake wanted to give me such a special gift. Oh my God, I'm speechless.
Yeah. 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 I got bad thoughts that make my mind scared. Hold me hostage and they don't fight fair. Who gon' pray for me and wipe all my tears?
It's just pristine. The mouth looks virgin. I don't know if I can dare to say that, but wow, it's amazing. So amazing fish. Oh, look at this. I can't believe it that I catch this fish here. I didn't even know. I wasn't aware that there was such koi in this gravel pit. Oh, really, 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 this makes me feel so blessed. Awesome. Needless to say that it's a must to take a look also on the other side with this little orange dot also in the belly. I think I made a jackpot. I'm speechless, really. I would never expect to catch also a fish like this in this water. Now we've just witnessed again a beautiful sunset. A crazy adrenaline still flowing on my veins. So I believe then soon we will just cast the rods out again, because of course we have to, and then start a fire and enjoying this beautiful evening, which I wish that it will bring me some more luck in the night. But I'm more than happy already with this. I don't know. Oof. Oh, crazy, crazy. I thought for a moment that it was come off, but no, it was just changing direction on the swimming. Oh. Just enjoying the fire and a run break the silence of this lovely night. It feels good. It feels good, I have to say. Trying to pull the fish in my direction, because with my surprise the fish was pointing inside the bay on my right side with such a fury. In the darkness I thought that she was going in the open lake, in the open water, but no, I was wrong. The fish is near the margin now. It's very close. That's the other line.
Another fish in the net, this time in the darkness. Lovely. Okay. Wow. What a beautiful common. Perfect shape, perfect scales, fins and mouth. Oh, nice. Golden common. Okay, well, seems we had the good night catch, so we just let it go, and I think that it's time for us also to go sleep and see what happened in the night. Good night. Since the very early morning, still in the darkness, a rain shower wake me up. So I have witnessed and enjoyed some kingfisher chasing each other and landing on my rods, which is always like a sign to me, a lucky charm. Hopefully the rain won't last long, and in the morning, very slowly the clouds go away. So after a silent night with no runs, I quickly managed to cast the rods out again with some fresh bait on my rigs. The total lack of runs and mostly jumps in the night made me suspicious. This weather change may influence the behavior of fishes. Following as always with baiting again with the spot rod. The whole morning flows fast and suddenly is late afternoon, with a strong and cold wind peeking from north. I wish, but I totally don't believe to catch some fish during the day. So I am just impatient for the night to come, and then to have one more chance to have a run. I don't know what to say, because for a moment I thought I lost it, then I feel it again. I don't know, probably it was tangled in something. But yeah, it feels good. And mostly, finally, after almost 24 hours of inactivity, the whole day nothing, just a lot of wind pushing from north and cold wind. Now everything is silence, and And in the night we have this run, but I don't really know what can be. It feels so heavy sometimes, and suddenly it seems like, yeah, it's swimming on my direction. I'm very curious now. I'm very curious. Very nice and intense fight. It's a common and it's still very hungry. It's a beautiful fish. Let's take it out and lift it. Let's say that it's bigger than I thought at the beginning. It's a very beautiful common carp. We've been waiting all day for a run, and we've been quite sad in the meantime, because we tried everything to recast out again the rods, baiting again, but seems that really the cold wind from north, it was very, very annoying for the carp as well. The wind has stopped, the darkness fell on us, and after about 24 hours from the last fish landed, here we are again with a very mega strong fighter common carp. Results. Last morning, the coldest of the night. Even if I kept on casting and baiting, the wind was too cold. The water temperature from 16 degrees went down to 13 in just a couple of days. This made the fish stop feeding or simply move to another area of the pit. I started this short session picking some great conditions, and very luckily I landed some great carps. Now it's time for me to pack my stuff and back home. Planning the next trip, but really looking forward to come back on this gravel pit. It hides some truly nice gems, which I cannot wait to land one day.